Hola! Your dream vacation to Vietnam starts from rupees 39,999 only with GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
It's not necessary that two people have to vibe to have effective chemistry. You have to know how to do your job. We both are professional actors, and that was the point I was trying to make. I'm very aware of like the kind of online trolling that Janhvi has received even before also, and it's too much sometimes. It crosses the line. Perhaps some people would see that, oh, she comes from a film family. She doesn't want to mingle with like outsiders. It's just that some people's personalities are like that. They keep to themselves. I worked with Taapsee. Taapsee was like that. Rajkummar is pretty like that. We just exchange pleasantries. We don't hang out and chat about life or we're not friends. It's something that she said that which I think that people might find her intimidating or something like that. Yeah. I think she got trolled for that. Do I think it's unfair and it's too much that the kind of language sometimes they use to sort of critique Janhvi? Yeah, it's too much. That bitterness is poison. That will run in my veins and ruin my life. So I don't want to be bitter. I don't know if tomorrow, 10 years down the line, if I'm broke, I don't have any work, how I will feel, I don't know. I have seen personally also, I was like working with Amir's daughter. She was on the Heart. She's a good friend of mine. People used to come there in Rajasthan. They have no idea how she looks like. They don't even know her name. They've heard that Amir Khan की बेटी आई है. तो 15-20 लोग आके खड़े होते थे. Like if you tell me now tomorrow Aryan Khan is going to debut in certain film, I am curious. Whether I like it or not is a different matter.
You cannot not be impressed each time you watch him on screen, and he leaves a mark with each and every character that he plays, because everything that he does is unique and it's quirky and he's done that yet again, I must say, with Ulajh. Welcoming Gulshan on Galatta India. Hi Gulshan, how have you been?
I've been okay. I've been a little sick actually. Yeah. I threw up and something I ate is not sitting well in my stomach. But apart from that thing, I've been doing quite okay. Pretty relaxed. I have a little bit of break time right now from shoot.
Are you reading all the reviews coming in? Are you taking in all the response?
I read some. I'm getting lots of DMs and people are saying all sorts of things and some very naughty things also. So, I mean, it's just like I'm kind of used to it by now, but it's also nice. There's a lot of appreciation for the performance, and which I like, which is nice.
Gulshan, how do you measure the success of a film that you've done, be it on OTT or the big screens? Do you evaluate it once it's out for the public to watch?
I try not to evaluate the success of a film, particularly if I am part of it, then I refrain from any kind of evaluation. I try and look at how things could have been better from my side, because there's always scope for improvement.
Okay.
Be it in terms of craft or approach or technicalities, how a scene or a film could have been better. And having spent about 13 years, a little bit idea I have about the craft of filmmaking also. So, and the flow of the story and things like that. So, and these are very personal things. I kind of keep it to myself. I don't really discuss it too much with other people, unless I feel that I can, or unless I'm asked for. But I think it's important for me to not lose perspective on the fact that there's always scope for improvement. And I don't really measure the success of a film that I am part of in any way, as in terms of how it's being received, the critical acclaim, or how much money it's making. None of these things, because I don't want to be result oriented that way. And I'm not saying that this is a better or worse way. It just works for me to sort of be detached from the outcome.
Okay. Now this is a very intense film. While on set, what was the chemistry like between all your co-actors and you and the director? Because
it's a trick question.
No, it isn't. I'll directly ask you what I have to ask you later.
Okay.
But no, why I ask this is because when you watch the movie, you realize that there needs to be, we know this is a movie and not the real life, but we also know there's been a lot of hard work put into it, and also maybe a strategy to make it look like that, very flawlessly done. So I need to understand, how was the time on set? Were you all always quiet and just rehearsing your own lines?
I'm not quiet and rehearsing my own lines. I'm quite relaxed and very casual if I've had good pre-production, if I feel well prepared, then I try. I'm quite comfortable, and I let myself lose a little bit. If I've not had a lot of time of preparation, then I think I'm a bit more focused and concentrated about like the character and the scene. I'm still trying to find some things. But with this, I was none of those things. I was having fun. I was happy that I was part of this film. I was happy. We were shooting this in London. I really like spending time in London, going to all the museums and all of those things. Yeah, they've stolen lot of stuff from us, but they've kept it well. They've kept it well.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's okay. Keep it. So, no, it wasn't a serious or tense atmosphere or something like that. And Sudhanshu himself is quite animated. From behind the monitor, he's quite animated. It wasn't anything like that. That we were all like serious and quiet or just focused. I remember I think I spent most of the time over there with Rajesh Telang and Mayank Chang. I got to know them a little bit, yeah.
Okay. Of course, there is an interview of yours which has gone immensely viral where you are talking about your chemistry with Janhvi and how you just didn't vibe now. I work in an office where there are 10 people and I vibe with maybe 2 or 3 and other people are good to me, I'm good to them. It's not like they're my best of friends, but that's what happens in a normal space. I just feel that entire section was just taken out of proportion where people were like, oh my God, he spilled the tea and how could he? Because maybe people are just very used to hearing only good things from actors about each other.
Yeah, it's that also, and I think the point that I was trying to make was that it's not necessary that two people have to vibe to have effective chemistry. You have to know how to do your job. And we both are professional actors, and that was the point I was trying to make. And I'm very aware of like the kind of online trolling that Janhvi has received even before also, and I feel that it's too much sometimes. It crosses the line. You may have we all have our likes and dislikes, but then how we project it sometimes, it's like it's easy for people to just sit somewhere and just say something about somebody. And I wanted to bring attention about that and the fact that professional actors are professional actors. We don't have to be friends.
Exactly.
She's quite reserved, and I'm totally okay with that. I don't want her to be all pally with me and all those things, and then this becomes perhaps some people would see that, she comes from a film family, she doesn't want to mingle with like outsiders. There's nothing like that. There's none of that energy. She's very respectful, actually. She was very respectful with me. She's very proper. It's just that some people's personalities are like that. They keep to themselves. I worked with Taapsee. Taapsee was like that. Rajkummar is pretty like that. We just exchange pleasantries. We don't hang out and chat about life or we're not friends. I have a tremendous respect for all of these people. I don't have to be friends with them to effectively work with them. So that's the point. Like you yourself said, that you work together with your colleagues, and you don't have to be friends with them to be good at a job together as a team. You don't have to be.
True.
So that's the case, and there are many instances of people who play sports who don't get along at all, but then when they play in a team, they play for the team. So that's the thing, and it's something that she said that which I think that people might find her intimidating or something like that.
Yeah.
I think she got trolled for that.
She did.
Yeah,
she didn't mean it
I don't
in that
think
way.
She meant it in that way at all.
Neither did you. It was all in fun and games. You all were laughing, I think.
Yeah, I don't know to a large extent, I have some thick skin for this, okay? And I don't say anything I don't want to say, and I want to be authentic, and I'm a little unpredictable when it comes to this, because I think PR teams are also very used to actors, like there are set patterns like this, how, that's how. Like, so my cousin works in corporate PR, and she's like, people like you are PR nightmares because we don't know what to expect from you. You will suddenly, and then it's very difficult to determine where I'm going with something also. And I don't have a very short way of making a point. I'm a winding mountain road. I need my time. Okay, ऐसे करके मैं point बनाता हूँ. That's me. That's my style. If you want people who will make you understand things in one sentence, I'm not that person. I need to sometimes take my time. Sometimes I'm able to do it. I'm trying to be more articulate and more efficient with my use of words. But it's just not possible for me sometimes. So I was getting to the point, and the journalist Sneha, she got like really nervous, I suppose. Like, what is it? I'm very curious to see where you're going with this. And I could see Sudhanshu also like squirming on his seats over there. I was like, no. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to some like, this is not, it is not going to a dangerous place or something like that. But, and it was also cut a certain way, like, this is going to happen. You will be misunderstood. You can't always be go back and like make people understand that this is what I meant, and this is going to happen. And in public life, you have to develop some amount of thick skin.
Yeah.
You have to do. Do I think it's unfair and it's too much that the kind of language sometimes they use to sort of critique Janhvi? Yeah, it's too much. I would really urge people to like cut back a little bit. You're free to like and dislike people, and criticism is important also when you grow, but do it in a constructive and a civil way.
Yeah.
Don't be like, it's very rude and very unnecessary sometimes. It's demeaning sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
That's not done for anybody. So I don't like that. Can I do something about it apart from requesting people to cut back on it? No, I can't really do anything about it.
No, that's true. But I just wish these people.
But I also don't want people to feel uncomfortable around me.
No, I don't
told,
think
like,
that's
the next day I told, I was doing interviews with Roshan. I was like, Roshan, like, sometimes, don't be surprised, maybe you won't get my sense of humor or anything like that, but I'm a little unpredictable, and don't let it throw you off. Just like, be yourself, and if you think that it's going too much or something like, just give me a tap, and I'll be like, it'll happen. He was like, no, just go with it. So I've become a little mindful of that, because sometimes people don't know what to expect, and they feel like, hurry, like,
that could happen.
What do you say after that?
Do you think that happened with Janhvi, and did you get a chance to sort of talk to her after this incident?
Yeah, I spoke to her. Not after this, there's something else that happened. So I sent her a voice note, and she sent me a voice note.
So all good.
Yeah. There's no misunderstanding like between us. I think people like really misunderstood that particular thing, and then unfortunately for her, she does have a little bit of this negativity. It's a little too much.
It's also all over on Reddit. Now I'm not very sure if there was a screenshot that I saw where someone asked you about performances, that what do you do if one actor's performance in one of your movies or your movie is not good, and you said that's not in my control, and
you make use of what you have.
Yeah, and that was actually linked to this entire Janhvi Kapoor thing.
That could make sense for anybody and anything. So it's, she's not very. She has admitted to it also. I think she's also very aware that she's there are things said about her on Reddit, and I think there was a botched AMA on Reddit which didn't. Yeah, so because of that, and mine went quite well actually.
But do you feel that the kind of industry this is, the film industry, you yourself have mentioned a lot of times that I have worked with so many actors, but barely do we actually end up becoming friends and talk daily, and that is actually rare. We meet so many people every single day. We don't end up becoming friends with them. Do you feel that that's also because the kind of pressure as an actor you constantly have to just keep doing well for yourself, and somewhere that competitiveness
it's possible.
brings in?
It's very possible. We are friendly, like I am personally friendly with a lot of them, but I'm not friends with a lot of them. So it is possible for some people that because of the competitive nature that and it's okay also for people to make practical friendships, like useful friendships for that will help you like network or like it's all right. But I think different people will have different approaches towards this, and it is rare to sort of really find people that you naturally sort of gravitate to be friends with and things like that. It's kind of rare.
No, that is very true.
Yeah. But I feel that it's like because everybody pretends that it was such a lovely time, it was like a family and all that.
Know.
It's a bit pretend. Okay, I'll admit to it, and many times it is, and we've all been guilty of that. I just felt that I think I should drop the pretense and
let's make it normal
and focus on the professional nature of what an actor's job is.
In fact, that makes me think that it's such a good thing that even though some people are not really very friendly on set. They are just, hi, hello, and decent to each other. They end up giving such a great performance. Like when I watched the film, I felt that. I was like, okay, I was just thinking in my head that he said they didn't really vibe. Janhvi agreed to it. But then you watch
it. 20
it.
years older to her also. There is a generational gap as well.
Yeah, I don't really agree to that because I have friends who are much older, but yeah, could be that in your case.
It happens.
Could be that. But Gulshan, when I see your performances, like your entire filmography and whatever work you have done, somehow I end up feeling in my head that maybe there's a lot more that you deserve, and I feel it's, of course, you are getting your due. But you have always been so positive about it. Like whenever someone's asked you about that, you've always been, it's okay, whatever I got and whatever I'm getting, I'm very grateful. But does that sense of, a little bit of bitterness ever come in your heart?
I hope not. I hope it doesn't come. I will not say that it will never come, but I have to learn to protect myself from that. That bitterness is poison. That will run in my veins and ruin my life. So I don't want to be bitter. It's tough to keep. I don't know if tomorrow, 10 years down the line, if I'm broke, I don't have any work, how I will feel, I don't know. But I should make myself strong enough that I'm not bitter and I blame people. It's unlikely that it would happen, but anything can happen. So I want to be prepared for that.
Is that a fear?
I think this due and all that, it's very nice when I hear it from people, and it's people's love and warmth towards me. I don't know what it means. I really don't know what it means for myself. If I keep asking myself, what is your due? Are you underrated? I don't know. I don't look at it, my perspective. I don't understand that. It just doesn't resonate with me. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. But it makes to other people because I think they appreciate me. And it's subjective also, and I welcome it because it's love that they want to see me doing better, or whatever, because they like me or they resonate with people like me. It could be that also they want to support people like me. It could be either of that. So I welcome it, and I'm very grateful that it's there. But I really don't know what it means to me. I don't think I'm underrated. I don't know what is due. I really don't know.
Even today, after achieving quite a lot of things, do you still, like you mentioned, a line of maybe 10 years down the line, if I'm broke and I have no work, does that thought ever come in your mind?
Yeah. I think about it. Actually, more than that is to be relevant. At what point does one lose relevancy? Is it when you get old, or if it your work is not boring, or it's the same shit, or what is that point? In most actors, it's usually age is a very common factor with all kinds of actors, regardless of sex. After a certain age, it limits. No matter how much you would like to think that you want to do younger parts, it's like people will start looking at you differently. But then there could be other things also, like some really very successful stars stop doing work because they are not relevant. Their stardom is not relevant anymore, or they can't kind of get pull audiences like they used to before. So, and then some people take it very badly. They do. So that is also gives you a perspective of whether they're relevant or not relevant. So I do think about that, and I feel that if I keep learning and if I be a little more pragmatic about such things, I will be able to stay relevant.
Do you think surname also plays a big part? You're given much more chances. Like I have seen, of course, without naming any actor, but I've seen people who are probably not very talented, but they have been given chances, and how they've been given three, four big films. The issue in that is that when I see a very, very talented actor not getting the part, or when I see someone on screen and I feel यार इसके जगह वो होता जिसके पास मे बी वो सरनेम नहीं है और वो आउटसाइड से आया है बट इज वेरी टैलेंटेड, तो ज्यादा अच्छा होता, फिल्म भी अच्छी लगती, पूरा कैरेक्टर भी अच्छा लगता.
Sure, that is your opinion, but that doesn't mean that this is it's everybody's opinion. If somebody, this is a private enterprise. Most films, there's no quota system or anything. There's no reservation कि ऐसा है वैसा है. And also it's a subjective medium. Nothing can be measured over here. The only thing that you can measure over here is like box office success, but that's also very flawed.
Yeah.
And it doesn't apply on everybody. So then it is a matter of consensus, right? Like what do majority of people think do they have a good opinion of me or not? Now, if somebody, I have seen personally also, I was like working with Amir's daughter. She was on The Heart. She's a good friend of mine. People used to come there in Rajasthan. They have no idea how she looks like. They don't even know her name. They've heard that Amir Khan की बेटी आई है. तो 15-20 लोग आके खड़े होते थे. और when I'm passing by, sometimes somebody will ask कि sir, Amir Khan की बेटी कौन है? They thought she's acting in that thing. She wasn't. She was in the direction department.
Yeah, exactly.
So this generates a certain curiosity on people. So if some people want to use this curiosity because their father or mother or family is famous or they come from some kind of legacy in the film industry, if they want to capitalize it on easy to get attention. See, it's very difficult to get attention on anything, on projects. It's increasingly more difficult now. Previously, when the media was much smaller, you had print and you have television, but nothing else. Now you have YouTube, you have digital media, you have social media, all sorts of things. It's really difficult to keep concentrated attention on anything कि हमारा project आ रहा है अभी. It's very difficult. One advantage over there is that a sense of curiosity that you have, that people naturally have. Like if you tell me now tomorrow Aryan Khan is going to debut in certain film, I am curious. Whether I like it or not is a different matter. Whether he'll be good, what I'll think of it is a different matter. But you got my attention. I'm curious. Because I remember his dad and how, and the kind of influence that he had on this thing and how much I enjoyed his films in his early career. I remember all of that. So that curiosity is there because he comes from a famous family. It does. His dad didn't have that advantage.
Yeah.
His dad had to earn all of those things.
Of course.
This is a privilege. Okay, and it can be an advantage, and in many cases it doesn't work out as an advantage because, yeah, maybe some of these people get more opportunities, but they also fail. A lot of them fail because audiences are not. Yeah, we were excited by you in the beginning, but then I don't know, 2-3 films down the line, we are not so excited.
I think they are judged even more.
And there are so many of them who don't work anymore.
They don't. I also feel the biggest example is Janhvi. They are judged even more because that star kid tag never really leaves you. Nepo baby star kid.
I have no idea why she gets like trolled so much.
It is because of sadly this.
I know that one botched AMA was there, but apart from that, I feel that it's a bit on the nasty side. I don't know if anybody deserves such nasty trolling.
Of course not. But Gulshan, when we talk about you and when we talk about the love that you get, do you think that your ability to act has been, used at the maximum end, or is there anything else we're yet to explore? Also, do you feel at any point of your career have you ever been stereotyped?
I myself don't know what is the limit. I have no idea. And like, I don't know if people know. I don't know. It really, like, every role comes with its challenges, and then if it excites me, then I am willing to sort of explore it. And then if it's not that exciting, then I'd rather not do it. So I really don't know if there are any. I think initially I was a bit like, I don't know if people who know what to do with me because I have this diversity and versatility. But it was wrong of me to expect people also to look at me differently. Because I am myself not capable of doing that consistently with other people. It's only when I see them doing something different, I am surprised by it. Oh, you had this in it also. So that applies the same for me also. It just takes some time. It's been 13 years now. So it took this long for people to organically, refer to me as like, versatile and organic. I see people writing.
Yeah.
And these are not like, PR driven articles. Journalists are naturally saying that because my body of work is there, stands as testament for this to happen organically. So it will take time.
Stereotype, yeah.
Stereotyping though is common. It is going to happen. Like, see, a lot of my roles are technically negative roles. But negative role is not a type. I mean, it's not a personality, it's a type. So I can find different personalities. All of these will be different. Like in Commando, it's technically a bad guy. But the personality and the character of that is very different to what I have in Ulajh, or is very different to Atmaram, or is very different to what I had in Hate Story. So it's going to be, there can be a lot of variety within that thing also. So I don't look at it as like, stereotyping as such, but if I feel that this is happening, I don't usually take up those roles if I feel that oh, this can be like stereotyped. I mean, I'll fall into that category where I'm doing too much of the same
Yeah.
type.
You know, I remember when Hunter released it, it did like people actually said such good things about you. And when you say these are not PR driven words, I completely agree
Yeah.
because when those are PR driven tags like mass hero, or I'm not naming
Yeah.
anyone, but there are tags like heartthrob and all of these. We know where they're coming from, but when we really appreciate talent, we also
Yeah.
know that this is very organic, and in your
Yeah.
case that is there. Now I remember when that movie released and did well and people did talk great things about it. After that, everyone sort of expected you to be at the top, or at the top of everything. And when that for some time didn't happen, did that feel left you feeling maybe hurt, or maybe feeling that
A
maybe
little
this is not for
disappointed,
me?
yes. I was a bit disappointed, and I'll tell you exactly why. It's not that I wasn't getting work or something like that. That film didn't make much money. Although it was very appreciated, and a lot
Yeah.
of people have seen it eventually, in variety of different ways. The box office collection was not something, because unfortunately everything was measured by how much money those films make. The film came in 2015,
15.
so the trend had already started. From how much, I think Gajni was the first one, I think, was where they started publicizing the
Box
figures, box office figures. If I remember correctly, I could be wrong, but yeah. But around that time, it was around the time
Yes,
that
yes.
Gajni realized. So then it became a norm that everything started being measured by that yardstick. That's a very flawed yardstick, and it's very difficult to sort of live up to that expectation also. Like a film that's released for 750 screens, you can't expect it to make 100 crores.
Of course.
If it makes, it can. It can. But it's rare and
It's
extremely
difficult,
difficult. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, the theatrical. So that I was a little disappointed that it wasn't that, because it does empower you. No, when your films are financially successful, it does empower. It does opens doors. It creates opportunities. It gives you also an opportunity to try and push the boundaries and do something a little different. And I've always been curious that if I am empowered like that, what will I do with it? I'm already doing roles that I like. I don't do anything that I like. So it's not about कि ये बंद कर दूंगा मैं वो वैसा वाला मैं करूंगा, or films that I believe in or something like that. That criteria doesn't apply to me. So I'm like, it's like freedom. It's like people have given you ये ले क्या करना है, तो फिर मैं सोचूंगा क्या करना है. What can I do with this? What can I do with this? So I don't know. So I'm curious to see how I will utilize it. I want to do something constructive with that empowerment if I ever receive that. So that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Hunter had the potential of doing that, but it didn't happen. So it did disappoint me, and after which I had to really recalibrate and kind of train myself to not be affected by the results.
You know, when the results are not as per what you thought it to be, I feel as a person who doesn't know you personally but has met you a couple of times, interviewed you, I feel you are someone who's very sorted in his head, like hua to hua, nahi hua to it's okay, I'll work harder.
Some things, yeah.
Today, when it's been 13 years, do you still think that way, or has it changed? The process has changed.
A lot of things have
dealing?
changed. It's better in many ways, and I have improved also, both as an actor, as a professional, as a person. I'm sorted in some ways. I'm very sorted. In some ways, I'm reasonably sorted. In some ways, I'm in the process of sorting. So this process of improvement is always going to be there. I can do better. Like for example, I'm quite lazy. I can definitely improve with that. I can be more disciplined with a lot of aspects of my life. I can be. So, and some of them are they don't even require like major changes or something like that. Small changes, atomic habits, they say.
Yeah.
You can incorporate those things. So I know there is always scope for improvement. But yes, from where I was when I joined the business and where I am right now, I feel I'm better as a professional, as an actor, as a person, as everything. I feel I'm better.
On that note, thank you so much, Gulshan, for this interview. I hope you are always relevant, because I believe you truly will be. Age will not affect that at all. Thank you so much for joining me. To many more movies and to much more success.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much.
talking to me.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Gulshan Devaiah, and you're watching me on Galatta India.
Hola! Your dream vacation to Vietnam starts from rupees 39,999 only with GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.